Don't tell me you're becoming a believer in this prophet.
I believe he has powers, and I believe what he teaches is love, which is good for Jews and Gentiles alike.
And for Romans?
Romans as well. You continue to Capernaum. I will meet you later.
Where are you going?
To listen to what Jesus has to say to all these people.
Out of my way! Move aside!
He is not getting better.
No. And we have done all we can. He is in God's hands now.
It is the Centurion who commands the garrison.
Forgive me, Lord. Lord, my young servant lies in bed, paralyzed and in terrible pain.
The Roman expects Jesus to help him? I will come and heal him.
A Jew cannot go to the house of a Gentile.
And a Roman.
Lord, I am not worthy to have you come into my home. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. I know this because I am under the authority of my superior officers, and I have authority over my soldiers. I only need to say go and they go, or come and they come. And if I say to my slaves, do this, they do it.
I tell you the truth. I haven't seen faith like this in all Israel. Go back home. Because you have believed, it has happened.
I really get it now, Chris.
Yeah, me too. Jesus lived what he taught. All of it. Every day of his life.
And he did it just by being ready and open to anyone who came his way. Always ready to be merciful, pure of heart, a peacemaker.
To go the extra mile for someone. To love his enemies and bless those who curse him. To always treat others as he would want to be treated. And above all else, have the faith that the Centurion showed. That God has the power to do anything when we ask for his help.
You can enter God's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The gate to destruction is wide, and the road that leads there is easy to follow.
I'm going to be studying for the test tonight, if anybody needs help going over the problems. But the gateway to life is very narrow, and the road is difficult. And only a few ever find it.
Dear friends, this is Isaac Rai here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am back with Superbook content, Superbook Season 5. Now let me share with you about the Sermon on the Mount, Superbook Season 5, Episode 4. Dear friends, now let me share with you about Judas, son of James. Judas, son of James, was one of Jesus' 12 disciples that were with him when he delivered the Sermon on the Mount. Judas, along with the other disciples, sat on the mountainside with Jesus as he preached the Sermon on the Mount. That day, the disciples learned what it truly meant to follow Jesus and be his disciple. Judas also witnessed how Jesus spoke a word to heal the Roman centurion's servant while commending him for his great faith. Judas, son of James, is not to be confused with Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus. Dear friends, we can read about Judas, son of James, in Matthew chapter 5, Luke chapter 6, Matthew chapter 10, Mark chapter 3, John chapter 14, and Acts chapter 1. Now let me share with you about Peter. Peter was one of Jesus' 12 disciples. Peter was a fisherman of the Sea of Galilee. When Jesus called Peter to follow him, Peter's life took a completely different direction. He became a fisher of men. Peter was the disciple who climbed out of the boat to walk to Jesus. And he was also the first disciple to recognize Jesus as Messiah. Peter later became the leader of the emerging church. And we can read about Peter in Matthew chapter 16, John chapter 1, Mark chapter 1, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, Luke chapter 5, John chapter 18, and so on. Galatians also we read, and 1 Peter and 2 Peter also we can read. Now let me share with you about James. James most likely would have been with the other disciples in Jerusalem when they questioned Peter about entering Cornelius' home. James was the son of Zebedee, an older brother to John. Jesus came to James and John and told them to follow him and be fishers of people. James and his brother John were one of Jesus' 12 apostles. They were nicknamed the sons of thunder by Jesus. James, John and Peter were called Jesus' inner circle and were the closest to Jesus of all the apostles. James was the first apostle to die as a martyr when he was killed by King Herod Agrippa in AD 44. We can read about James in Matthew chapter 4, chapter 10, chapter 26, Mark chapter 3, Acts chapter 1, Luke chapter 9, Acts chapter 1, and so on. Now let me share with you about young John. Before Jesus called him to be a disciple, he was a fisherman. We can read about this in Matthew chapter 4 verse 18 through 22, Mark chapter 1 verse 16 through 20. John's relationship with Jesus was so close that he was called the disciple Jesus loved. John wrote the Gospel of John, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, and the book of Revelation. And we can read about John in John chapter 13, Matthew chapter 4, Mark chapter 1, Mark chapter 5, Luke chapter 9, Mark chapter 3, John chapter 19, John chapter 20, Revelation chapter 1 verse 9 through 11. So this is what I'd like to share with you about the content related to the Sermon on the Mount. And I just shared with you about John, young John, that is, and then James, disciple of Jesus, then Peter, Judas, son of James, the Centurion, Levi, Matthew, which is called Matthew also, and I also shared with you about Jesus. So I hope you are encouraged by listening to the content I just shared with you. Please like, share, comment and subscribe our channel for more videos similar to this.